I'm Jennifer Goddard with Integrity Marketing Solutions. We serve estate planning and elder law attorneys and help them grow their practice. Today, I want to talk to you just a little bit about SEO, search engine optimization, and how it applies to your website, and specifically about backlink strategies in terms of local SEO. Now, let's talk just a moment about what is local SEO. Why is it so important for estate planning and elder law attorneys? Well, search engine optimization is the way that you get your website found when people are searching online for you, for estate planning or elder law or for an attorney. However, it doesn't do you much good to have nationwide ranking. It doesn't do you much good if people come to your website from a state that you're not licensed to practice in. What you really want to do to have a website that works for you, that drives leads, that helps you build your business, is to rank very well in your market. So when people who are within the range of folks that would come to your office, maybe a 15-mile range, maybe a 50-mile range, will depend on your market. When they are looking for an estate planning attorney or an elder law attorney, you want them to find you. Now, there's not a high volume of search on these terms, but when someone is actively looking who's in your market, it doesn't take a high volume because they are ready to buy. Studies show they are ready to hire an attorney. They're at that point where they're making a decision. So it's very important for you to rank in local SEO, not national, local SEO. So one of the strategies that I think can be very confusing is what's called a backlinking strategy. Now, many years ago, in the olden days of the internet, 5 years ago, backlinks were really important, and it didn't seem to matter where they came from. The more websites that linked to yours, and that's what a backlink is, it's a link from another website to your website. The more backlinks you had, the better you would rank. So that gave rise to a lot of these SEO companies that would specialize in purchasing these backlinks for your website. Now, Google got onto this, and there's actually now a penalty. Backlinks can actually hurt your website rank in local SEO if they detect with their algorithm that you're doing what they call a linking scheme. In fact, Google now says they totally advise you not to implement a backlinking strategy. What you want when it comes to backlinks, to the degree that they are still important, is in your local SEO to have backlinks from local authoritative sites. Let me just share a story with you about a client who came to us, and she had gotten taken in by one of these SEO companies that would do a big backlinking strategy for her. Her website was new, and she didn't have a lot of traffic to her site. Now, there's a couple of things you can do in that situation, but one of the big ones is give it time. It's going to take time for you to overtake your competitors who are ahead of you. So SEO is like a king of the hill game. Whoever is, you can't get onto page one unless you knock someone else off. So if you're in a competitive market, which this lady was, it's going to take you some time to build up the same authority that those folks who are ahead of you in the game and are already on page one, you're going to have to get to their level and then pass them. You're not going to do that overnight. But she was impatient. So she hired one of these companies that had been soliciting her, and they put in a backlinking strategy for her. And she went from having a few hundred visitors to her website a month to having almost 20,000 visitors to her website a month. And you can see from the graphic here, she had this huge spike in traffic, but it only lasted a short time before Google caught on and actually penalized her site. So she wasted money on that backlinking strategy, and then she hurt herself in the longer term, and the longer term was only about a 3-month time frame. Now, to climb out of that hole where she got a penalty is going to be very difficult for her to accomplish. So I don't want you guys to get hooked into something like that. You don't want to employ an SEO company to implement a backlinking strategy for you. Here's what you want to do that can actually help you with local SEO. You want to earn some backlinks. So rather than a backlinking scheme, you want earned backlinks. How do you get those? Well, you want to be involved in your local community. And that's like the basic rule of public relations. And even though that is, we're now in this digital time, some things never change. Be involved with speaking at local events, but just be a little bit savvy and ask them when they promote their event to link to your website, to put a link to your website on their website. Now you have an authoritative earned back link. You can do this through sponsoring local events, through sponsoring local organizations. You can do this through local directories. Join the Chamber of Commerce. Join business directories that are local for you. Become a source for local media. Whenever there's an issue about estate taxes or any financial issue, planning, anything about healthcare, you want the local media to know that you're a source for them. So then when they quote you, ask them to put a link to your website in the online version. You also can send out local press releases. Now, they may not make it into the local media, but they can still be online. And Google still recognizes those. They have a short shelf life, but you can do that. You also can sponsor events, speak at events, join local clubs and sponsor things for local clubs. So be active in your local community. As I know a lot of you guys already are. You're sponsoring walks for Alzheimer's, you're sponsoring walks for breast cancer, but just be a little bit savvy and ask for that backlink. Now, in your local community, it may vary by market. There may not be a lot of backlinking opportunities because you're in a smaller market. If you're in a larger market, there could be a lot of local backlinking opportunities. Remember, when it comes to backlinks, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. And you want them to be in your local community, so that's what will help you with your local search.